know that it's never been about the business strategy. It's never been about the business routine. The only strategy that it will ever be is self-awareness. If you need someone to give you the foundational basics, this is not the channel for you, my friend. But if you stay, you will gain something far more powerful than a 1, 2, 3 calendar structure. You're going to build an understanding of how to make every blueprint and every strategy a huge success. No matter what you apply yourself to, self-awareness is the key to your success. I'm not talking about deep work that people then brush over. I'm not talking about whenever you're writing in your journal about how your day went and then closing your journal, going to bed and getting back up the next day and continuing on. No, this is a serious introverted process. It takes brutal honesty, and the best way to do it is in these 5 steps. Think of all the things you have done in your life. When I look at the things that I have done in my life, it wasn't the daily rituals that I followed that got me into rooms that I should never have been in. It was never what I had educated myself in. It was never the projects that I had completed or the challenges that I had had. None of that stuff was what got me to where I am today. What you have done and what you have achieved and the challenges you have gone through are going to be different at every single stage of your life. No matter what business you want to create, no matter what financial target you want to hit, it's never about the business plan. It's never about the strategic route to the goal. It never has been and it never was. The only thing that's going to get you to those goals is you. Self-awareness is the only strategy that you need to think about. Number 1, you need to go straight back. When you think about your invisible power, that's a phrase that a lot of people will hear, especially people in their 20s. And what you need to realize is that that's your leverage. Your real leverage comes down to that invisible power. You want to be spoken about in rooms that you're not present in. You want to be sold by people who know, adore, and love you, right? People talk about people they like with people they admire because it serves a sense of importance that we all carry, okay? And it's centered on love, appreciation, admiration, inspiration. All of these things are branches off the one tree that is love. Everything is an expression of love, okay? Frustration, anger, apathy, indifference, every emotion under the sun, shame and regret, you know, the worst ones. Everything that you could be experiencing at any moment of time is a reflection of love in your life. If you feel shame and regret, that's love's whisper for remembrance. That's the love within you seeking to remember the best parts of yourself. If you feel angry, that's love's cry for recognition. You're only angry because a part of you doesn't feel seen in that moment. You feel emotions as a response to the love and the light that's already within you. That's your invisible power. That's your leverage. The more you get to know yourself, the further you will go in life. The greatest achievements that you have made so far were not because of the things that you did. It was because of who you believed you were and what you believed was capable in those moments. I promise you that. Review everything in your life and really dial it down. You will find that to be a fact. Number 1, the concept you hold of yourself. Your reality and everything around you is a reflection of who you see yourself as. That's not a joke. If you put that to the test and you really think about it, it doesn't matter if you are already a billionaire or if you are going from nothing to something. I want you to remember, especially the people who are on like level 3 or level 4, it takes a deeper internal programming to continue to hit the next level and the level after that. And after that, because in the beginning, you had nothing to lose. You had nothing to fear. Because the worst case scenario was that you would go back to where you already were. That gave you an extra push, an extra drive. It gave you this ability to fearlessly pursue your first level of success. I know that. I remember doing it myself. And then whenever it took me to hit the next level, all of a sudden, you're terrified because you've set a new standard. All of a sudden, you do have something to lose. So you need to get to know yourself on a deeper level again, where your new bar, your new normal, you don't fear losing it. Because how can you continue growing if you put fear in front of you as a barrier? You will never surpass the obstacles that you refuse to confront. That is not who you are. That is not how you are going to achieve the impossible, my friend. You are a person who is going to look at the new normal standard that you have set, and you're going to embrace the fact that yes, you could lose it all, but you know what it is? who you are is a person that will achieve the impossible, so you have nothing to fear. Your success is inevitable so long as you have the mental posture and composure of someone who fucking knows themselves. This is not a difficult process. It's just an uncomfortable one, okay? Because you have to face the parts of yourself that you're not proud of. You have to face the things and challenge the beliefs and kill the addiction to the methodologies that have kept you where you are for whatever the period of time has been. I know that because I have done it. I went from sofa surfing at 16 to waitressing and working my hospitality jobs, to then moving up into business events, and then to moving towards entrepreneurs, to getting these incredible networking experiences, working with an 8-figure entrepreneur, then working with people under 8 figures, and then attracting a business partner who far supersedes that, who also has a monopoly over the industry in which I have a business idea. Couldn't have been more perfect, okay? But if I told you exactly how I did that, it would sound impossible. In fact, it would sound unbelievable, because it wasn't about what I did. It was about how I operate as a person. If you can master this, if you can accept that idea, I promise you in this moment, your life is going to transform forever in ways that you can't even quantify, because the magic of what can happen in 24 hours is fucking profound. It is. You do not know what can happen in 24 hours when you're operating with integrity to your own soul. As a creative person, there is nothing I hated more than having to follow the same structure and the same routine every single day. But there is value to that, the mental training that gives you in order to be organized. You will not be successful if you cannot be organized. Step 2, you must create a space between your current reality and where you want to be. You have to create a mental space. When I say that self-awareness is the strategy, you must sit down with yourself and feel out and think out what are the stories, the beliefs, the circumstances, the ideas, what are the things that you are holding on to so tightly? How do you identify if you're holding on to something tightly? Think of what triggers you. Recall experiences, recall conversations that you've had with other people where you have not budged. Where are you at your most stubborn? You need to acknowledge this space, okay? Because the longer you hold on tightly to that, the longer you stay stuck. You're never achieving success with the opportunities in front of you for as long as you decline the storage space for them. My favorite quote that I heard from a great thought leader called Bob Proctor is, create a space for the good that you desire. We talk about the idea of letting go. What does it mean to actually let go? It means to forgive. It means to allow. It means to surrender. You need to be able to take a step back and become the observer of your life at a deeper level than you've done before. The thing is, we do this every day. You were an expert at this as a child. You were able to take a step back and become the observer of your life. You were able to watch things occur, form opinions about it, attach an emotion to those memories, and then through confirmation bias, you would confirm it over and over and over again until you were an adult. When you're met by someone who has a stronger energy than you in that field, in that topic, program, whatever it is, they are most likely going to be able to sell you on their opinion, because the strongest energy in life will always win. That's a fact. It doesn't matter if what the person is saying is true or if it's false. Others will be persuaded to think like them. That's one of the dark parts of psychology. It's why you want to have your own ability to discern. And when your discernment is on point, you're able to tell the difference between what will serve you and what won't. Self-awareness, again, is the only strategy that is going to allow that for you. I pray every single day in my heart for the spirit of discernment to be with me, because it is that important. It is so easy to be distracted, and the higher levels that you go, the more subtle people's deceptions will be. Now, I don't personally believe that anybody actually has an agenda to go get you or to make you fail, okay? Yes, there's darkness in the world. Yes, there is malice. Yes, there are people that you do not want to bump into, but I don't believe that the people that you and I attract on a day-to-day basis, I don't believe that anybody's really going out of their way to say, I want to fuck their life up. Okay? Because it's not who you are. It's not who I am. So disregard that thought. What you want to acknowledge is that everybody is searching for the same thing: importance, fulfillment, purpose, and love. So when you meet someone, always give them the respect that is due and just be a good person. But for you right now, you need to lock into your self-awareness again, as you were when you were a child. You need to pull yourself back and you need to observe everything that you're holding on too tightly to. And you need to question why you are holding on too tight to that. Because more often than not, the reason is bullshit. You're feeding a part of yourself that really needs to die off. This is an energy thing. Okay, the introverted process. You will feel when you have detached and let go of the idea. And when you do that, please note, everything screams before it dies. But do not be alarmed. When you detach and you let go of the things that you've been holding on too tightly to your current reality, when you let go of the idea that your physical senses are dictating the story and the narrative of where you're going to go, you are going to come under attack, quite literally. Nothing that has the life force energy wants to die. You know, that's why we have our natural fight and flight. Your beliefs are and were at one point a living part of your modus operandi. So when you detach from them and when you try to challenge them and you begin to change the way you think, the old concepts are going to resurface, either in your mind or they're going to be reflected up in your reality, which will trigger the old thought in your mind, which is what causes the recognition, right? Everything screams before it dies, but do not be alarmed. It has to. It's a natural part of the process. It's the part of your life where persistence and perseverance come so important. You cannot cheat this process. There is no obstacle that can stay in your way when you push forward towards the objective. And I really mean that. Step 3. Everything in your life right now is a representation of the standard you hold of yourself. This is a beautiful part of the process, okay? See, after you've created a space between your reality and what you desire, and you've let go of the things in your current reality that just weren't serving you, you then have this new space to fill. And it's a great time to shed the things that do not meet your standards, okay? You don't want to operate with that stuff anymore, and be fearless because you did it before. Do you have old phone charging cables that need replaced? Do the people around you promote the success of others, or do they tear other people down? What kind of jokes do you laugh at? As you become more self-aware, as you follow this process into a deeper level, you will start to refuse things that are not in harmony with who you are or where you're going. Think of the first time that you got it out your wardrobe and you replaced it with something that reflected standards for you, that when you went outside you said, yeah, do you know what, I feel great, this is who I am. And no, not in an ego way, just very much self-assurance. Bring that back. Get back into the position where you look at yourself and you see a new version and you go, fuck yeah, that represents who I am. Sort out all those tiny bullshit tasks that need to be done. Everything that you do represents your standards that you're holding. It becomes really interesting after you've hit the first level and the second level of success. You think that the people around you who helped you reach those levels and the people who are at those levels with you, that they're going to serve you in getting you to the next level and the next level. That is not always the case. Not everybody is on the same journey as you. So yes, there are going to be people who decide that they don't need to get to know themselves at a deeper level, and they are going to settle for the success that they've already achieved. That's okay. You don't need to fall out with them, but you also don't need to subject yourself to that energy. Just be friends from a distance, okay? I don't care if you've hit all your targets in life. If you refuse to continue to grow, if you stop being teachable, if you stop learning, you're dying. And in a short while, you'll realize that you are fucking lost. People like that go through a midlife crisis. Who you surround yourself with is a representation of the standards you hold for yourself. I will always personally hold on to the people who stuck with me from the start. There's a love there that has been solidified with time, but I'm not around them every single day. So you don't need to cut people off. You do not need to be this ruthless, heartless person who is in the pursuit of success. No, continue to be yourself. Continue to love the people that you love, but have enough self-respect to surround yourself frequently with people that reflect the new standards that you want to hold for yourself. Step number 4, your relationships and opportunities. If you do not continue to get to know yourself at a deeper level, your relationships will begin to stagnate. Like I was talking about, people who want to settle. But even your most important relationships with the people that you love, okay? Hopefully the people that you really love are going to be there with you for life. It's not always the case, but I hope for you that it is. But when you've set a new normal, if you do not begin to change that, the level of opportunities are not going to change either. The same when you went from nothing to something. You had to change the way you saw yourself, you had to change what you believed was possible, and then new opportunities came your way. Okay, it's the exact same. You need to do this in a deeper way, time and time and time and time again, because your invisible power is profound. I remember in 2015, I told everybody in school, all my friends, one day I'll meet Jaden Smith. And I meant it fervently. There was no question about it. My faith was unwavering. And then in 2021, I did meet Jaden Smith with my very good friend Kelly Lee. Then the following year, Jaden's friend reached out to me personally and asked me would I go and meet with them before the event in London. So I went and I took my other close friend Jordan Adetunji with me. That was incredible. Now, following that again, the year after, asking if I would want to go for dinner with them in London. Now, I didn't necessarily do anything to make that possible. But the concept I held of myself since 2015 was I am close personal friends with Jaden Smith. So by the time it hits 2024 and I'm receiving a personal text off a close friend asking, do I want to go to dinner in London with them? I made that possible because my concept of self was going to prove that to be a fact. Your relationships and your opportunities need to evolve with you as you grow. They will, and you will know if you're not receiving new opportunities, if you're not receiving new connections in your life, that's not because they aren't there. It's because you aren't in a position to see them. So you need to dive deep into your mentality and ask yourself, what way am I thinking that is limiting who and what I can be right now? And you'll feel it. There'll be that horrible thing, that stubbornness because you're holding on so tightly to it. You'll go, no, I am really open-minded. But then ask yourself in all your previous experiences that you had that week, was I open-minded? Energy doesn't lie. The evidence is all around you at all moments. Step number 5. This is the most important one. So make sure you stick around to the end. There is a difference between success, pride, and true growth. A lot of the times you get stuck because you have created this new standard in your life. It's easy to fall into pride. It's easy to go, I know how to do that. Yep. Oh, XYZ's trying to do this, XYZ's trying to talk about this. No one better than me to do it. But if you're not still growing, that's pretty fucking embarrassing. I do not talk to people who are led by pride. You will know if someone truly is operating from their ego or if somebody actually is just a confident person who's secure in themselves. There is a very clear difference. If you are successful, but you are clouded by pride, don't talk to me. Whereas if you're successful and you're still pursuing growth and you're able to humble yourself to the point where you can tell people, I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to try. What do you know? What's your idea? What's your take? See, when people are operating like that, talk to me all day long. Those are the type of people that I work with. I only have time for people who are actually humble enough to grasp the concept that they don't know what they don't know. Because I don't know what I don't know. Like, I'm currently working with people to develop a skill set because I don't know anything about it. So do not be prideful enough to disqualify yourself from learning something new before you've even given yourself the chance. And do not think that you are the number one master of the one thing that you do, because you will be humbled by life. Your ego will always get the legs taken out from under it, because pride comes before the fall every single time. The first thing you want to note about your own self-awareness is your ego-empathy balance. If you are leaning too much on the emotional side of, oh, I want to help everybody and I'm going to help everybody for free and I'm going to give these people my time and I'm going to say yes to all these things and I'm going to really, upplay my own capabilities for this person because I love them. Or if you're operating in ego, again, upplaying your capabilities in a cocky way, going, I can do everything. And, oh, I'm the go-to person for this. And, I don't have the time of day for you because I've already achieved X, Y, Z. Or, I don't want to talk to this person because it's beneath me. You need to have ego-empathy balance, okay? You need to learn the art of saying no. I noticed this in my life. I wanted to say yes to everybody. And I was clouded by the doubt that I was the only person that knew how to help them. So every time somebody came up to me and was like, Rachel, can I call on your time? the one thing none of us get back? My instinct was yes. And then whenever I was being instructed by my mentor, Kim, she told me, she was like, Rachel, you need to stop saying yes to everybody. I was like, I'm the only person that can help them because they've reached out to me, so I have a duty to help them. No. You can know how to help people by directing them to other people who are specialized in the assistance that they require. That's real love. If you can sell that person on the idea of going to someone who is more advanced than you, you just hit the winning lottery numbers there, okay? Because people respect people who care. Caring doesn't mean sacrificing all your time. It doesn't mean giving yourself away for free. It doesn't mean upplaying your capabilities so that you feel like you're, leagues above the person who requires your help. No, it means understanding that you are a connecting point. You can be the bridge. That's the beauty of networking. You can have the most worthy intentions, but I'm telling you, if you're not spending the majority of your time on your own growth, you aren't helping the people around you. You're just not. You cannot give water from an empty well. And if you think that your well is full all the time, you're lost, my friend. You need to take a beat, go touch grass, and get in tune with yourself. And if you aren't sure about if your ego-empathy balance is correct, just check your self-righteousness and check it against who you're becoming. Because who you are in this moment, self-righteousness can make you feel, justified to do what it is that you're doing right now. But ask yourself, would you, who's hit this next level, would you be doing the exact same thing that you're doing right now? Or would you be hitting the next level? Okay, there is a way to love people, there is a way to serve people, but it is not through abandoning your own journey or by sitting on the throne of the success that you've already acquired and just dictating to people. Sort yourself out.